So after looking at a lot of reviews on YouTube, looking at a lot of different generators online in the stores, decided to go with this Honda EG2800i. I had looked at going with one of the 4,000 watt jobs at Harbor Freight, in which those have really got a lot of good reviews. I think that's all subjective towards how it's being used. They've also got some bad reviews because the math doesn't quite work out with the amps and versus watts. Circuit breakers are kind of low amperage. People complaining that they trip, you know, just trying to run skill saws and small equipment. So this EG2800i, I believe, is a new model out by Honda. It's kind of in between the suitcase model. I call it a suitcase model. It's the little EU2000, I believe, which is 2000 max, rated at 1600, I believe. Or you go up to the 3000 watt by Honda, and that really gets into a lot of money and expense. It's you know, it's a nice unit though, but this one's kind of in between. It's a 2800 max at 2500 rated. I don't really need a lot of portability, even though this guy's only 67 pounds. I can grab it and throw it in the back of the truck, no problem. Move it around in the shop. It's not like the big old honking 5,000 watt I used to have. Got rid of that because I I didn't use it much, but I did run it every so often to keep the, you know, just to maintenance runs. But it was such a pain to pull start. But anyhow, it was also a pain just to move around in the barn. I didn't have the wheel kit on it, and I don't know that I'm ever going to buy a wheel kit for this one, but I figure if I have to move it across the yard, you know, from the barn to the other side of the house, if we have a power outage, I got a hand truck I can do that with. So anyhow, I thought I would unwrap this thing and then show you up close maybe some things if you've looked at them on the website or looked at some of the other Honda videos that are online. Honda's got several of their own videos on YouTube that show you know, how to unbox, set it up, and also I won't really go through that. I think I'm going to show you up close some things I like about it, and you know, some points of view that maybe you don't see on the website, and then we'll put some oil in it and fire it up, and we'll see how loud it actually is. So anyhow, there's a close-up of the panel. And again, you can see this on the website, but there's the choke, you know, pull in and out, on-off switch. This reminds me of that old on-off switch on some of the real old Honda dirt bikes, if I remember correctly. This model does have the echo throttle. Once you get it up and warmed up a little, you can turn that on, and you know, if there's not a demand for power, this thing throttles back. If I understand correctly what I've read, this thing can run up to 12 hours on a tank of gas under quarter load, and I believe I read under full load it lasts about 5 hours on a tank of gas. And that's another thing, this thing has an advantage over the smaller suitcase model. I'm sure the tank's got to be bigger. I don't remember the exact gallon. I think it's a little over 2. Again, I'm sure that's on their website. You got the 30 amp twist lock for your if you have a travel trailer or camper. What I understand, this thing should run a 13,000 BTU air conditioner. Then you've got a couple of 20 amp regular outlets. I plan to make a cable up, and so I can plug this in to my electrical service on my house, you know, and get everything pre-wired and pre-done. And I won't use a transfer switch, but I'm going to have a procedure written where when the need arises, I can plug this thing in. I'll have a breaker, a dedicated breaker for the feed into my electrical, along with what other breakers I need to turn off, because this is only 120 volt out, it does not do 240. So all my 240 breakers, I'll just flip all those off and only leave on the circuits that I want to run. It'll be a kind of a manual system, but you know, that's the way I plan to do it. I love this fuel tank. It's metal. It does have a fuel gauge. That's another feature you only see on some of the more expensive models. Check out the shine on that fuel cap. That's pretty neat. I mean, this thing feels like it's pretty well made. It's a strainer in there to keep you from getting trash in the fuel, you know. I also believe I read on one of the Honda websites that this thing is actually assembled in North Carolina, and the engine is cast and built in the United States. Some of the parts come from other countries, but it is assembled in the U.S. and the engine's completely built in the U.S. There's the fuel on and off. I believe there's also a strainer in this guy. Full start. Looking at this side, there's a shield for the exhaust. You can see the spark plug up in there. There's the back side, spark arrestor in there that I believe you need to clean out from, you know, ever so often. I'm sure that's in the manual that comes with it, what frequency you should clean that. Oil fill, there's the oil drain, that bolt right there. Oil fill has a dipstick on it, but basically when you fill this thing up, you fill it up to the oil just about runs out, and that's full. Uses 10W30, nothing special. No special oils that you have to buy from any, you know, specific place to, you know, keep it, you know, for warranty reasons or anything. Basically 10W30, just buy a good brand, good grade. Not sure what this is. I believe the air filter's behind this guy. And then we're back around to the other side. So I think I'll put some oil and some fuel in it, and then we'll fire it up in a little bit and just see exactly, you know, how loud this thing is. So stand by for a second. I'm probably about 5 or 6 feet away from it. Anyhow, turn the switch on, pull the choke, echo throttle should be off. Let's see what happens. Oh, with the fuel shut off needs to be turned on. Oh, wow. So I'm still talking normal. To me, this is excellent. Compared to the other generator I had, you couldn't stand being this close to it without having hearing protection. Here's where the exhaust is coming out. And here's the back side. And this is wide open, mind you. This is not echo mode. So this is probably 10 feet away. This is probably 16 to 20 feet away. And that's that should be wide open. I mean, that's with the echo mode off. I think you're supposed to let it warm up before you turn that on. So we'll turn that on in a second and see how it does. I'm really satisfied with the noise level. I mean, this is nothing. You know, on the end of my house where I'd have this thing running plugged into my fly. There's really no windows on the end of that house. On that end of the house, I don't know that you'd even hear it running inside my house. And I don't have any neighbors, but if I did, this is I don't think this would drive your neighbors nuts. So let's see what the echo throttle does. So echo throttle. Not a lot of vibration. Really smooth running. So let me go grab a power tool or something and plug into it, just to see what happens. Okay, so instead of getting a noisy power tool, I got something that really put it to the test. Maybe I guess that's maybe 800 to 1,000 watt flood lamp. It's rated at 4.2 amps, so if you do the math, whatever that works out to in watts, maybe I'm a little over guessing. Maybe it's only 500 watts. But anyhow, let's plug this in and see how the echo throttle responds, and see how it does. Wow. I heard a little bump in motor speed, but really it didn't rev up like I was expecting. So that's wide open with the echo throttle off. Hardly any difference. Hardly any difference. Well, let me go find something else. Okay, so I plugged the light back in, and now how about a table saw? The label on it rates it at 13 amps. Lights on. The table saw is just about as loud as the generator. It's probably, well, actually a little more loud. It revved up a little bit, but let's see if that put it to the max. Nope, that still didn't make it throttle all the way up. Okay, table saw has come to a stop. Let's see how this thing starts. Fairly easy. Forgot to mention earlier, today is April 14th, 2017. This particular model, they say retails for $11.49 currently. Certain Honda dealers are honoring a sale, the Honda garage event, where it's $200 off. So I got this one for $9.49 plus tax, which puts it, you know, about the same price or less than what the little 2,000 watt suitcase model is. And so far, time will tell, but I'm pretty satisfied. So hopefully this, anybody looking to pull the trigger on buying one of these, maybe this helps you make up your mind. I think the sale on this runs until the last day of April of this month. So anyhow, thanks for watching.